SML has no limits when it comes to roasting famous people. From movie stars to world leaders, old school icons, and meme sensations, they'll cook anybody who pops up in pop culture. And they do it in the most ridiculous ways possible. From blink and you'll miss it references to full-on parodies that take over an entire video. Starting with a really funny one in SML movie The Tylenol Problem, which is the first of many videos where Logan makes fun of Donald Trump. Around a week before the video came out, President Donald Trump announced that he thinks that they've solved autism. How could this be? Will it be expensive? And most importantly, will Logan go bankrupt after all of the Jeffy fans are cured? All eyes were on Trump, and the next day, with the help of Health Secretary RFK Jr., they announced the solution to autism was pregnant mothers not taking Tylenol. Not only would this information not help people who already have autism, but there's also no significant medical study that conclusively states this. A bunch of different medical professionals came out to fight back against this.
I'm actually saying he's wrong because he's wrong.
And eventually, SML made a video parodying the whole situation, with the Brooklyn guy being the representative for all the doctors that were against Trump. Eventually, Trump had enough of Brooklyn guy and sends ICE to deport him. But just before he can, Brookie pulls the most diabolical move possible.
I'm gonna throw your ass right over that wall.
Okay, well before you do, you wouldn't want me to release these, would you?
Trump said those ain't real.
Next, we have Jeffy's cat allergy. In this video, Rose brings a cat who can speak English, but not only that, he speaks exactly like Christopher Walken. And so when Brooklyn guy names him Christopher Walk Kitten,
ow! Do you not hear him? He sounds like Christopher Walken.
Surprisingly, there's a whole back catalog of Christopher Walken appearances in SML. First, we have the clock problem, where Christopher Walken is the magical guest for the New Year special. Then we have the security system, where one of the voices for the security system is Christopher Walken. Then we have another appearance by Cat Christopher Walken in the Halloween lasagna, where Karen dresses up as him for Halloween. It's really depressing how characters like Woody and Doofy are completely dead, but hey, at least we have Christopher Walken, everyone's favorite character. The breakup is next, and this video starts with a long list of parodies that Logan has made on football stars. In this video, his targets are Travis Kelce, the tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Basically, a couple of days before the video came out, Travis Kelce got engaged to Taylor Swift, and the whole internet went crazy, which led Logan to make a video parodying the situation. So Junior, Joseph, and Cody are just sitting on the couch. When it's announced on the news that Travis Kelce got engaged with Taylor Swift, Cody gets super giddy, whereas Junior and Joseph literally couldn't care less. Until Patrick Mahomes comes to the door asking them for a favor. See, Patrick believes that Travis spending all of his time with Taylor won't make him try as much in football, so he asks Junior and Joseph to help them break up. The duo decide to try to find a badder girl than Taylor Swift to get Travis to cheat. And who do they decide? None other than Margot Robbie. Yes, Logan is down bad to unforeseen levels. They can't actually get Margot Robbie, so they got a picture of Margot's feet to get Travis to sign "I love you," which he actually does.
Yeah, I meant, write that, make sure you write "I love you." Get the photo!
I got you, bro!
But before the Travis Kelce cheating drama is insane videos can drop, Taylor Swift defends Travis and decide to have their wedding cake as a foot cake, continuing the theme of athlete mockery. Next, we have Jeffy plays golf. In this video, Marvin's bills are so high that he needs to enter Jeffy into a golf contest against Tiger Woods. In the SML universe, Tiger Woods is obsessed with cheating on his wife with white women. And in real life, well, it's not much different. Tiger absolutely crushes Jeffy on the first few rounds, until Marvin and Jeffy try to cheat to get Jeffy the edge. Well, they actually were successful and go on to the final round, which is on the rattlesnake minefield pit. Tiger Woods has the first shot, which he does and gets pretty close. So he goes to get his ball when
He got bit by a rattlesnake!
I guess that's why it's called Rattlesnake Minefield Pit. The funniest part is that Marvin and Jeffy don't even win. The game is a draw, and now they can't pay Goodman his house payment, so Goodman makes Marvin his final counteroffer.
Unless you let me bang your wife.
What?
I will get the popcorn.
So Marvin pulls the Sneeko chair and the popcorn while Goodman and Rose do their thing. The Truth or Dare monster has a very deceptive title because in this video, Logan doesn't just make fun of one monster, he makes fun of two. The first person he makes fun of is none other than Jared Fogle, the infamous Subway diddler. Jared became the spokesperson for Subway after losing 111 pounds using a Subway diet plan. The picture of Jared holding his massive old jeans became an international sensation. However, this all came crumbling down in 2015 after it was revealed that Jared had been interacting inappropriately with many minors and is now currently in prison as a sex offender. Due to the massive popularity of the ads and Jared's very wholesome image, these offenses grew a large amount of traction and virality to where Jared is now a permanent stain on the Subway legacy. Therefore, whenever Subway gets mentioned, Logan has to mention Jared. We've previously got a Jared mention in the breakup, but in this video, Jared is basically a side character with how much attention he gets. Bro even got a Nintendo animation made about him. The only other person that Logan makes fun of in this video is, well, Hitler. In this video, the Truth or Dare monster is revealed to just be Hitler spelled backwards. He hates Jewish people.
I hate you!
Okay, I guess he likes pork.
And his favorite number is 420. And I don't think it's for the same reason as Snoop Dogg. They actually try to imply this in the video, that the real Hitler was forced by the Truth or Dare monster to do all the terrible things he did because he was dared to. But now, let's go into some brain rot with SML movie Chicken Jockey. Now, I'm pretty sure all of you know where I'm going with this one, but before the Minecraft movie was released, a very infamous trailer dropped with so much more meme-worthy dialogue. Ender Pearl, Water Bucket Release, and Flint and Steel terrorized high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools all across the world. But one line changed absolutely everything.
Chicken jockey!
This one line created an unprecedented hype for the movie, hype that Marvel and DC have been struggling to get for years. Jack Black literally gets in one sentence. So when it came time for the movie to release, and the line was set in theaters, the audience went wild. Not just in one theater, but in every theater. People were screaming, throwing popcorn, and bringing live chickens. I remember I went to the theater to see it with a couple of friends, and when he said the line, we literally stood up and started clapping. Everyone looked at us like we were insane. So when SML caught wind of this, it was not long before they released SML movie Chicken Jockey, where the trio and Jeffy go to the theater and cause mayhem. But they took it a little too far when Jeffy started shooting a literal gun. Junior lit actual fireworks, and Cody started peeing on everyone in the movie theater. Yeah, they might have taken it a tad too far. But you might be asking, well, what specific celebrity did they make fun of? Well, before the movie, Jack Black, played by Anthony, gave a PSA to the audience not to cause too much ruckus during the film, which the kids ignored. You might have not actually known this, but Jack Black actually went around to movie theaters and delivered this PSA IRL. And what did this accomplish? Absolutely nothing. The kids kept screaming, and some theaters even had to create special screenings where you could actually be as loud as you wanted. Next, we have one of the most esteemed trilogies that have ever been conceived. Not Lord of the Rings, not the original Star Wars trilogy, not even the Fred trilogy. No, we have the one and only SML Diddy trilogy, with Jeffy Goes to a Diddy Party Part 1, Part 2, and the Christmas play. SML movie Jeffy Goes to a Diddy Party was released after Diddy was put in jail, and we have just what you think would be in an SML Diddy video. Man-ass, freak-offs, and tons of baby oil. The video ended with Diddy being put back in jail, with him being incarcerated and sentenced to prison. But that's not where the story ends. In SML movie The Christmas Play, the kids put on a play for Santa and the parents. The first song is called Winter Wonderland, where the kids sing about Christmas time and snow and a bunch of other fun things, until Jeffy shows up in a P. Diddy mask, and the song quickly switches to Diddy's Wonderland. Timmy then sings about wanting to escape from Diddy, but there was something in his drink and he can't get off the couch. The trilogy finally ends with Jeffy Goes to a Diddy Party Part 2. You know how I said Diddy was arrested the first time around when the video came out? Well, by this video, Diddy's trial has been finally concluded, and he was found only guilty of 4 crimes. So Logan made another video called Jeffy Goes to a Diddy Party Part 2, where he capitalizes on this one with Diddy being let out of jail to keep doing freak-offs. Marvin and Jeffy go undercover with cameras, but find out that Diddy has actually been having a consensual Diddy party. This leads Marvin to go to the bathroom and take off his camera, but when he comes back, the non-consensual party happens with another Diddy song. This means that there have been 4 SML Diddy songs, with all of them being really well produced. The story in real life, however, has a better ending, because although Diddy was only found guilty of 4 crimes, he was still sentenced to at least 4 years in prison. But hey, that's at least 4 more than he got in the SML universe. Now, we have Jeffy's Disney show, and this video has a lot of celebrities to talk about. First, we have The Sweet Life of Jack and Brody, a show where 2 brothers cause mayhem in the massive hotel they live in, much to the dismay of their parents and the hotel manager. If you were a 2000s kid, alarm bells should be flaring off in your head right now, because this show is a direct reference to The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. But interestingly, in the SML interpretation, Jack is being played by Lavelle, and Brody is being played by Anthony. I think their mom has some explaining to do. But that isn't the only race swap they did, because Mr. Mosby became Mr. Poobsby, who was obviously played by Elena. And we have Este Juan, who was played by the very Hispanic Lance. The next show they parodied was Hannah Montana, with Hannah Alabama. I wonder how long it took for them to come up with that. And in this, we have Elena and Anthony filling in for Miley Cyrus and Billy Ray Cyrus respectively. They went in way harder on this show than Zack and Cody, which I think is deserved. Even though the show was already over by the time I was born, when the reruns came on Disney Channel, it never made sense, because I think Anthony put it best.
Well, you're the one that wanted to live a normal childhood. If I were you, I would have been doing all sorts of cocaine off every woman's asshole I could find.
But we all know the real ones who watched iCarly and Victorious instead. Next up is Jeffy's podcast, and this video revolves around Jeffy starting a podcast where he has, let's just say, a wide variety of guests, from Patrick Mahomes to Cat Williams and EDP445. He shows no mercy for any of them, making fun of Patrick Mahomes fumbling the last Super Bowl, chastising Cat Williams for letting Diddy touch her butthole for 50 mil, and finally berating EDP for saying the R word.
And I don't even know why to explaining myself to people, but unfortunately, niggas are fucking retarded.
Whoa, hold on! You can't be saying that word, offending my people!
Which, to be honest, is probably the tamest thing Jeffy could have done for him. But there's still one massive elephant in the room, which is the Hawk Tuah girl. See, a couple months before this video came out, the Hawk Tuah girl went viral, and to capitalize on this, she started a podcast called the Talk Tuah Podcast with Jake Paul's network. However, Hawk Tuah was never content with the hundreds of thousands of dollars she had made from saying 2 funny words, so she decided she's gonna be like another Paul brother and did, you guessed it, a crypto scam. I'm sorry, but this situation is literally the same as the 6'7" kid. Somebody says 2 funny words on a video, the video goes viral, the meme becomes so big that it becomes annoying, and then just before the meme dies, the person in the video does a crypto scam. I don't know how people can fall for this twice in the same year, but I guess that's just the way the world works. So in the light of the crypto scam, SML made this video to make fun of how stupid the Hawk Tuah meme is, and even did a whole parody on her podcast, with Elena playing the Hawk Tuah girl. Now, we've already talked at length about Logan making fun of Patrick Mahomes, but the next 3 videos are all about mocking him, starting with bad Super Bowl commercials. Brooklyn Guy and Marvin need to sabotage the Chiefs so that they don't win against the 49ers. Brooklyn Guy decides to infiltrate the Chiefs locker room and steal Mahomes' jersey, yet somehow, after all that, the Chiefs still won the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes got another ring. The next video, the Super Bowl bamboozle. In this video, Brooklyn Guy and Marvin kidnap Mahomes and try to stop the Chiefs from winning again. They lure him by pretending to have his paycheck. The idiot actually buys this and comes to the house, leading Marvin to bash him on the head and tie him up. they keep him tied up for a while and think that they've stopped all the chances the Chiefs have of winning, as his only replacement is Carson Wentz. However, Mahomes does the fabled Andy Reid call and causes Andy Reid, who is for some reason a SEAL, to come and save him. Despite being saved, the Chiefs still lost the Super Bowl, ending their streak. Brooklyn Guy Loses Everything is the final video of this series, and because Brooklyn Guy bet all of his money on the Chiefs winning, he is now broke, and his house is owned by none other than Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, it turns out he intentionally threw the game because he bet on the Eagles to win, which led him to win a bunch of money. In order to get his house back, Brooklyn Guy must get Patrick Mahomes a deflated Tom Brady Super Bowl ball, so that Patrick can prove to the world that he's the best. Throughout these videos, they not only make fun of Patrick, but also frequently make fun of his teammate, Travis Kelce, which by extension means Taylor Swift too, and the coach, Andy Reid, who is implied to be having an affair with Patrick, and finally, Tom Brady. Despite Tom Brady being Logan's idol, he has dragged him more times than anyone, including all the losers, creeps, and pedos. Next, we have the President's Book. Cody's 17th birthday, and Junior gets his ear pierced is our next trilogy, this time all targeting Trump, as all of these videos were released either during Trump's re-election campaign or during the beginning of his second term, with the first of these being Junior gets his ear pierced. On July 13th, 2024, Donald Trump was delivering a speech in Pennsylvania when he got shot. The bullet struck Trump in the ear, and he was immediately rushed to the hospital, where Trump recovered, but sadly, one of the attendees, Corey Competore, was fatally wounded and had passed away. However, soon after, SML decided that this would be a great time to make a parody of the whole situation, with Junior gets his ear pierced. I don't want to understate how quick the turnaround for this video was. It was literally uploaded 4 days after the shooting. In this video, Junior wants to get his ear pierced, so he asks his dad very calmly, who tells him no.
You asked me to get your ears pierced, you fruity booty ass boy. Next thing you be asking is to wear dresses and get lipstick. No, hell no, you not Caitlyn Jenner.
The only rational thing Junior can do now is to get Cody to snipe him in the earlobe, so that he can tell his dad it was an accident. Cody, for some reason, goes along with this and shoots Junior in the ear, which actually does precisely pierce the perfect part of his ear, but the bullet ricochets and kills Donald. Duh. On the news, they announce that Cody is the killer, and the police come to arrest him, only to get community service. The one thing I will give SML is that Cody does look suspiciously similar to the attempted assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks, with both of them looking like the stereotypical nerd. However, unlike Cody, Thomas did not get away that easy, with the Secret Service quickly spotting him and shooting him straight through the head, which quickly led to his death. Now, onto a brighter subject. Brooklyn Guy's obsession with Jimmy Butler. See, prior to 2023, Brooklyn Guy absolutely loved Jimmy Butler, singing his praises every chance he could, which mimicked Logan's love for him. However, after their loss in the 2023 NBA Finals against the Nuggets, Logan and Brooklyn Guy's love completely diminished, with them mocking Jimmy at any point they can. The first being in Brooklyn Guy's depression. This was the episode revolving around the final itself, with Brooklyn Guy absolutely stoked and confident that the Heat would destroy the Nuggets, especially after the clutch win in the previous game. However, this happiness was completely destroyed after the Heat had lost. Normally, a loss wouldn't even affect Brooklyn Guy, even a loss in the finals, as Jimmy has lost finals before, but this time it was different, because Jimmy just did not try.
Didn't try. What the fuck was that? I could do that. Pay me $100 million to throw a ball at a hoop and just hope and drink coffee and play cards with my buddies.
Brooklyn Guy came to the conclusion that this was because of his coffee company, Big Face Coffee. For context, during the pandemic, NBA players were put in this regular show-esque bubble in Walt Disney World in order to stop them from getting infected before the finals. This led Jimmy Butler to sell coffee out of his hotel room and subsequently start a coffee company. In Brooklyn Brooklyn Guy's eyes, Jimmy had started to focus more on his coffee company, and that's why he choked the NBA final, and he lets you know that that's the reason, because he says it over and over again. The obsession has now shifted from loving Jimmy to hating Jimmy, and it follows into Brooklyn Guy's tax fraud, where Brooklyn Guy spends $100,000 of the IRS's money and has to get it back, but he has a get-rich-quick scheme, as the Heat was playing that day. And since Brooklyn Guy has it set in stone that Jimmy cares more about coffee than basketball, he knows that the Heat will lose, so he bets against them, and the video ends with them making the bet and not knowing the outcome until the day after. But surprisingly, Brooklyn Guy was right, meaning that his hatred of Jimmy Butler was actually used for something productive. So that's it, right? No more Jimmy Butler slander. Well, no, because when Brooklyn Guy tries to help, he still can't get over Jimmy Butler. And after a serious leg injury, Brooklyn Guy tries to get him into coffee rehab to try to cure him and get his head back in the game. But his love for coffee is so strong that the only thing he could do is just kill him. Yeah, he literally shot him in the back of the head like in Of Mice and Men. Now, the saga must be over. I mean, he's dead. What more could you do with poor Jimmy Butler? Well, Logan's hatred for Jimmy led to his resurrection in Brooklyn Guy's last hope. Jimmy has now been suspended from the Miami Heat, which Brooklyn Guy just cannot handle.
I'm not gonna do that. You don't understand, Marvin. He could be the next Michael Jordan.
So he takes matters into his own hands and goes back in time to the NBA bubble to stop Jimmy from drinking coffee. But none of his attempts work. Jimmy then goes to Brookie's house, where he says that he loves coffee more than anything and leaves. Fun fact, just like how the final scene in the previous video was based off of Mice and Men, this final scene was based off of Gone with the Wind, another 1930s novel. After this video though, there have been no more Jimmy Butler videos, although he has been mentioned here and there in some videos, like in Brooklyn Guy Loses Everything.
Jimmy Butler got traded to the Golden State Warriors?
I'm sorry, buddy. I know
This
you're...
is the best day of my fucking life.
What?
He hasn't had a major appearance since, but this break will most likely end in a couple months when the NBA season starts back up, and we get more of Brooklyn Guy yapping. Remember when TikTok was supposed to be banned by January? Yeah, and now it's December and nothing has happened. But around the time the TikTok panic was happening, Logan made SML movie Junior Saves TikTok. In this video, TikTok was gonna be shut down because of the company having privacy concerns regarding the Chinese government, and their only hope was to be bought out by an American company. Junior, Joseph, and Cody are mortified by the news and try to buy it themselves. Their plan is to get TikToker Kenneth Lee to make a positive review on Chef Pee-Pee's cooking, which will cause loads of people to buy it, and they'll get enough money to buy the company. Somehow, Kenneth Lee does show up, and they try to bring him a well-done steak from Denny's and tell him it's Chef Pee-Pee's food. First of all, why would you buy a steak from Denny's of all places? And secondly, why would you order it well done? Do you want to choke to death? Well, this is exactly what happens after eating just one bite. Kenneth Lee starts choking and almost immediately dies.
Guys, he didn't say the $1 billion line.
Kenneth Lee is actually a real TikToker, and Lavelle does a really good job at replicating his mannerisms, like the way he rates food. It's revealed that the reason Junior loves Kenneth Lee so much is because when he has to eat Chef Pee-Pee's awful food, he puts on his TikTok, and it tricks his brain into thinking he's eating the food in the video, which is just another example of how Logan projects himself onto his characters, because due to all of his medical conditions, Logan finds it really hard to eat, so he does exactly what Junior does. Put on Kenneth Lee to mask the taste of the food. So even though they do make fun of him here, it's sort of balanced with Logan being a fan of him. But something that Logan is not a fan of is Big Hero 6. In fact, one of the main punishments that Junior has to endure in both Cody's Revenge and military school was watching Big Hero 6. So in SML movie Junior's Big Hero 6 problem, when Junior finds out that they added Baymax to Fortnite, he has a massive crash out. Junior then storms to the Fortnite headquarters and sees the CEO Tim Sweeney, or as his friends call him, Mr. Epic Games. Mr. Epic Games is pictured as someone with so much money that he hates it and tries his absolute hardest to get rid of it. So when Junior comes in and threatens that he'll never play the game again, Mr. Epic Games says, well, I think you should hear it from him.
And I'm hard again. Oh, thank you.
No,
Junior then devises a plan to try to get Baymax removed from Fortnite, and that is to tell everyone how much he loves it. Since Mr. Epic Games hates money so much, if Junior tells everyone to buy the Baymax skin, Mr. Epic Games will get pissed and have no choice but to remove him. The plan works flawlessly, with Baymax being removed from the game, and the CEO of Epic Games accidentally fell out of his flying bus to his death. Similar to Junior gets his ear pierced, we have another video based off an assassination with SML movie Goodman's Bodyguard. In this video, Goodman reads on the news that a healthcare CEO was shot, scaring him into getting a bodyguard. Just a few weeks before this video came out, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot and killed by Luigi Magnioni outside of the hotel he was staying in. The situation received widespread coverage due to the shocking and sudden nature of just one man being able to kill someone so powerful in broad daylight. The incident also gained traction because of how many people resonated with Luigi's motive behind the killing, which was the belief that the CEO was complicit in the deaths and exploitation of sick people and denying them health insurance. So what did Logan do? Seeing this highly complex and diverse situation, make a video about it, of course. Never changed Logan. Junior the Boxer is the next video, and it was inspired by the at the time up and coming Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson boxing event, where we get to see Lavelle as Mike Tyson, who has a lisp and loves biting people's ears off. Just like the real Mike Tyson, Junior sees on the news that Mike is challenging someone from the public to punt into the moon. So obviously, Junior has to take him up by his offer. We see some more of Mike's previous fights, where he absolutely dominates the competition, leading Junior to start taking training seriously. But he still gets his ass handed to him, and he gets CTE.
No, but what you did get is CTE, brain damage.
In all honesty, I thought they would make fun of more things to do with the actual Jake Paul versus Tyson fight, because the whole concept is hilarious. Like, why is a 27-year-old fighting a senior citizen on national TV? I think the Mike jokes were pretty surface level. Now, we've reached the Mr. Beast arc, starting with Cody's Lunchley. In this video, Cody goes to school with a Lunchable, making all the other kids jealous, until PJ Crenshaw comes in with his shiny new Lunchley, Mr. Beast's new Lunchable clone. The classroom erupts because there's nothing more badass than spending more money on the same thing just because a YouTuber's face is on the packaging.
They're basically the same fucking thing.
So, the backstory on this is that Logan Paul and KSI both own the drinks company Prime, and Mr. Beast owns the chocolate brand Feastables. So, they decided, why not triple our wealth? And that's why they created Lunchley, which is basically just a regular Lunchable, the Feastables bar, and a Prime bottle. This product started a massive controversy for multiple reasons. Firstly, we had Dan TDM slam Lunchley on X, saying that these guys were promoting unhealthy eating habits to young kids. What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff to kids for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know any better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. Do better. The second point of mockery in this is that during one of the ads, Logan Paul said,
Come in close and look at the queso cheese in Lunchley versus whatever that is. Drip versus stick. I like my cheese drippy, bruh.
which people found to be supremely cringe, and made fun of him a lot for it, including in SML, with PJ Crenshaw saying,
Damn right, I like my cheese drippy.
The final big controversy that Lunchley went through was people saying they were finding mold in it, most notably baking YouTuber Rosanna Pansino. This specific claim is what caused SML to make their video on the topic, with Cody eventually getting his Lunchley, but subsequently falling ill because of the mold. However, after a month of the Mr. Beast allegations coming out, Mr. Beast got on an interview with the YouTuber Oopaville to address most of the claims against him, one of these being the mold in the Lunchleys. And to be honest, his explanation makes a lot of sense. He says all of the Lunchleys that are produced are FDA certified, meaning that it's suitable for consumption, and if they were prone to growing that much mold without any outside interference, they wouldn't be certified. So he believes that the mold was caused by an outside influence, like the bags puncturing on their way to the factory, which is actually the case for Lunchables, as there's a lot of reports of mold growing in them too.
And Google their name and put the word mold behind it. You'll see thousands upon thousands of examples. And that, I think, is a key context a lot of people leave out in this, because they're acting like this is just a thing with us. Once it leaves your factory, you know, a truck that's delivering it could technically take a sharp turn and a box fall and...
But around this time, Mr. Beast hatred was to another level, so any defense he made, regardless of its legitimacy, was just thrown out of the court of the public opinion. But moving on to a far darker subject, we have Jeffy Dahmer. Now, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that this video is based off of the Milwaukee cannibal, Jeffrey Dahmer. The plot is about Jeffrey Dahmer being resurrected in order to complete his prison sentence, but then he escapes and attacks Pensacola. Brooklyn guy comes to the SML house to find Jeffrey, but instead sees Jeffy, and because Jeffy sounds like Jeffrey, Brooklyn guy arrests him, just because of that. Now, when I first saw this video, I thought that the reason why Brooklyn guy was so stupid was because they needed to force Jeffy into the title. However, they kind of did hint at this in SML movie Jeffy's Adult Happy Meal.
Or we could just eat them like Jeffrey Dahmer did.
Did someone say Jeffy?
In real life, Jeffrey Dahmer was a serial killer who had a strange obsession with dismembering and eating his victims. The grisly nature of his crimes got him extreme notoriety, with him being one of the most popular serial killers, with names like Ted Bundy and Jack the Ripper. This popularity got him a Netflix show in 2022, which actually did somewhat inspire the video. In the video, Lance, as Jeffrey Dahmer's most prominent characteristic, was not being a sadistic cannibal, but being flamboyantly gay.
But yes, I want to eat it.
And in the Netflix show, Jeffrey Dahmer's homosexuality is explored in great detail. Now, we're on to what I like to call the President Ken videos. Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. In John F. Kennedy, Ken and Cody ride top down in Jeffy's PT Cruiser when Ken gets sniped in the head. We have no idea who did it. Was Junior. He was in the bathroom upstairs for an unusually long amount of time at the time of the assassination, and the upstairs bathroom is the perfect vantage point. But Cody ignores all of that and latches onto a tiny thing.
So you're telling me I had enough time to find shoes, get a gun, kill Ken, and hide the gun, dude? Wait a minute. Nobody ever said you hid the gun.
Joseph was then taken to the courthouse, where Timmy shot him and then was taken into custody himself. There are a ton of JFK parallels here, specifically the JFK conspiracies, like the killer Lee Harvey Oswald not actually being the real killer, similar to how Joseph was framed. And also, Timmy killing Joseph before he goes into the courthouse is the same as how Jack Ruby killed Lee Harvey Oswald. You might think this video is just limited to JFK references, but somehow he was also able to mock O.J. Simpson? If you didn't know, after O.J. was acquitted in court, he was sued by the victim Nicole Brown Simpson's family and lost. In order to recoup funds and pay back everyone, O.J. wrote the book I Did It. In this book, O.J. details how if he killed his wife, this is how he would have done it. But I got one detail wrong. The title is not I Did It. It's actually If I Did It, because eventually, O.J. gave the rights of the book to the Simpsons family, who made the font of if so small that it just reads I Did It. But what does this have to do with the video, you may ask? Well, after both Joseph and Timmy die, Junior keeps subtly hinting that he was actually the killer. But Cody questions him, and then Junior says he didn't do it. But if he did do it, this is a direct jab at the O.J. Simpson book. And even Logan hearted a comment saying this. The O.J. reference of if I did it is spot on to what he said in the book. Next, we have Abraham Lincoln. This one is a bit more straightforward. Junior and Cody go back in time to meet Abraham Lincoln, but when they arrive, he's already dead. So they go back to the present day, but they leave Ken behind on accident. This leads to people thinking that Ken is Abraham Lincoln, and being hailed as the President of the United States for over 200 years. Eventually, Cody gets him back, and now they have a president living in their house. I tried looking to see if there's any conspiracy theories suggesting that Abraham Lincoln is still alive, that may have inspired Logan to make this video, but I came up empty-handed. My best guess is that around this time, the infamous Trump and Kamala debate happened, where he said the Haitians were eating the cats and dogs. Logan saw how much attention this was getting and wanted to make a president-related video to siphon the views. There's also a direct reference to the debate at the beginning of the video, with Lance as Trump saying,
"The Haitians in Springfield, Ohio are eating the cats and dogs."
Guys, I'm not even close to being done covering all of the times that SML has made fun of celebrities. This video was originally supposed to be about 2 hours long, but I decided I'm gonna split this into 2 more parts. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of this, or if it's already out when you're watching this video, go watch it. Do it.